Hello and welcome back to another snapshot video. In today's snapshot we are taking a look at 20W18A. Now we have some new changes to the Redstone system, so we're going to take a look at those in just a second. And alongside this, I'd also like to mention there have been tons upon tons of bug fixes in this snapshot, so make sure to go and check those out. There's a link to the changelog down below. Anyways, we have some changes to how Redstone functions. Let's go I'm going to try my very best to explain these as best as I can. So firstly, we're going to just take a look at that singular redstone dot. In previous snapshots, previous versions, this would just be a dot, but now it's in a cross shape, and this is because that means that kind of would power this block. So I'm going to try my best to try and explain how this is all going to function. This would obviously get redirected if I place, let's say, a redstone torch down, and that is, so redstone dots are now redstone crosses in a way, which makes a bit more sense. Another little change and tweak to the target block, yeah, and that is that this is now conductive, as it is called. That means redstone will run straight into things like pistons and dispensers. They're not conductive, as the redstone line won't run straight into them unless I, let's say, put something down just like that. So that's a little change to the target block that might make it a little bit more useful here and there. Now we're taking a look at some other tweaks and changes. Now I'm going to read through what the changelog says in here and try to visualize what it said. I have recreated what is on the changelog here so you can take a look at what is going on. So, a single redstone wire is now presented as a cross, as we have already seen. A wire on top of a block, which is redirected from below, will power the sides it is redirected to. So, what I'm taking from this is if we take a look at something like this. So, what I've got is I've got this coming in here, and this is then running up to the side. As we see, that is actually pointing into the side of this block, meaning this here is not powered. So, this redstone lab isn't being powered as it previously would have done in previous versions. As we have redirected it upwards, it is not going to be powering the block to the side of it, as we don't have the redstone running directly into it. If we were to do something like that, you'll see it runs directly into the redstone component, so it is being powered. Things like this, if we had a fence gate just up here and then we unpower this, just like that, this previously wouldn't have affected the fence gate. This now affects it, as we have this redstone line running directly into this fence gate just here. Now I've noticed another small change, and that is that the redstone actually has a hitbox if it's going up and down the sides of a block. You'll see that it now has a hitbox just here. Previously it did not have that, so you can actually break your redstone from that angle just there if you really wanted to. Wires that redirect upwards. Wires that redirect upwards to wires on non-conductive blocks used to be redirected visually. Now this redirection applies to both their behavior as well. So this is what I was talking about just over here. So this, as it's being redirected, it's not hitting that block, it's being sent upwards. It now applies behaviorally instead. Now over here, we've also got another change to how, again, redstone is functioning and how that is now working. A wire that is redirected to go over a block will now always provide power to that block. This is most notable when the wire has signal strength of 1. So here we have a signal strength of 1 that is just coming out of that one level of that cauldron just there. That is then running into that block. So if we imagine that redstone dust line there is running directly into that block and powering that block, that is then powering this redstone lamp. Because it's only power level 1, it's not reaching to the top of the block, so it will not power that redstone lamp just there. But I'm assuming, yes, if we place our repeater down just like that, you will see that that is powering it. So that is going to change actually the functionality there. If we do have a power level of 1 just here, we will actually be able to take a signal out of a block from the side just like that. So some interesting tweaks and changes. Now I thought I'd just go over a few little basics and couple of bits and pieces that I just tested out. Things like this, not broken at all, as we are redirecting into that block. That block is then powered, we can imagine. And the same thing just like this, as you can see, that is all functioning as per usual. And I would show you that one there, yes, is functioning as per usual. There has also been a lot of technical changes behind the scenes in this snapshot. Firstly, you can now set your servers to display as offline, even if they are online. I don't really know why you want to use that, but that is now a feature that can be run through the server properties. There have been tons upon tons of bug fixes and also quite a few changes to the advancement system. This has been a fairly small snapshot in the scheme of things. I'd recommend keeping your eyes on the sidecraft, guys, as I'm sure they'll be delving deep into and further into these redstone changes. And there's a link to the changelog down below. If you've enjoyed today's snapshot, make sure to leave a like, as it really does help out the channel a lot, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.